I think it's in the symposium or one of the symposiums in Greece where the ancient Greeks would come and sort of discuss ideas and drink wine and stuff. And a bunch of these philosophers are about to enter the symposium, where one guy's like, "Where's Socrates?" and another replies, "He's outside in the carriage, outside by the carriage, deep in thought." And so the guy's like, "Okay, fetch him. We're all going in." And then the other guy's like, "No, don't fetch him. When Socrates is deep in thought, he doesn't want to leave until his thought is completed." And I like this because I like the idea of fulfilling one's thoughts. Like
Mm.
people's think about all the business ideas, all the creative ideas that haven't been manifested because people haven't completed the thoughts, or just ideas in general. Like people have ideas every day, but they might only kind of half think it, and then their maybe intelligence or persistence doesn't develop it all the way. Um, yeah, I'll leave you with your thoughts on that, and then I'll add some more.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, we think 100 of fragmentary, incoherent thought patterns every day, little flashes of an image, or a flashback to a past memory, or a vision for the future, or an idea, or we make a new connection between pieces of information. And that's why I love writing so much, you know. That's why I try and write every single day if I can, because it takes whatever I've been thinking about, whatever that vague notion in the back room of my mind is, it brings that forth into reality. And once you put it into words, something that the human intellect can understand, you put it in concrete form in a narrative on a page and you can reread it, it becomes real then. Something you can speak about, is something you can create something from. And I think it's also because people, not necessarily like they don't trust their own mind, but they're not aware of the of how much power is there in the things that just float around in their consciousness each day. People don't take time to just self reflect and write. I feel like journaling is like a superpower if you do it regularly, because it kind of creates a separation between you and the narrative in your own head, and you can analyze that and draw the value from it and learn what makes you feel good and what improves the texture of your mind and what doesn't, and all of that. So yeah, I like the idea of a completed thought. Imagine, I mean, what a huge regret it would be if I died with ideas in my brain that I never did something with, you know?
Yeah, it puts in the context of journaling very important as
Let me just jump in quickly before you go as well. That quote that I sent you, it's Peterson quoting his new book, We Who Wrestle with God, which I'm going to buy at some point and read, that I sent to you. Each man is called upon to say his piece, lest the world suffer in the absence of that singular and unique truth. I love that. It resonates with me so much. Each person can provide value with their individual experience of the world and their thoughts on it. And the world suffers if people don't express that, whether it's through a conversation with a friend or writing it in a journal that no one will ever read. Just use it. You know, express whatever's in your brain, because there's so much complexity and depth and meaning in doing that. Carry on.
yeah. It's if you don't complete your thoughts, you don't find your truth, and then you're not able to express your truth. There's this another. I think it's one of Socrates' most famous quotes: "The unexamined life is not worth living." So there's a kind of a examination of maybe your development and what you think is true that that is important. Um, and I think also I've been like reflecting on the question of what is the soul, and Socrates, you were right in saying that it's kind of like your true self, and that like it's who you really are, the closest to who you really are. That's what Socrates said. So you're right with that the other week. Um, and in doing that, in in aligning with your truth, you're then kind of protecting your soul.
Yeah, yeah, it's really important, man. It's really important in the way some. It's a lesson I have to remind myself of constantly. Be who you are, you know, because what you're afraid of, people not accepting that. Well, okay, but if you pretend to be someone else, they're still not going to accept who you really are anyway because you're hiding it. And when you do find the people and the situations that do absorb and appreciate your truth, God, what a meaningful experience that is. That's what self actualization is. That's what Abraham Maslow talks about as the top of his hierarchy of needs. When you reach that point where who you really are becomes manifest in the world, you know.
And those that were seen dancing were thought to be insane by those who could not hear the music.
Ooh, send that to me. That's nice. That's nice. I like that a lot.
And
Um, Go on.
the dance kind of represents not taking life seriously and your phrase of like flirting with the world. And I think
Mm.
the music represents like the frequency of being able to do that.
Yeah.
And
No, I like that a lot. I like you to send that to me.